Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRIENDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to share with you is nothing short of a potential game changer for the NFC East, and specifically for the Washington Commanders. Rumors are swirling around that the Houston Texans, currently sitting at 4-7 with some serious defensive issues, might be willing to part ways with their young star quarterback, C.J. Stroud, and if this happens, it could dramatically reshape the division race and, more importantly, the future of Washington's quarterback situation. Let's get into the details. The Texans, after a promising start to Stroud's rookie season, have hit a rough patch. Their defense is leaking points, giving up nearly 28 points per game, and they're in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially with cap space only at about $12 million. They're looking to clear space and strengthen their roster, and that's where the rumors of a trade come into play. According to some sources, Houston might be eyeing a deal that involves giving up their promising quarterback for a package that includes a first-round and a third-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, with Washington being the prime suitor. The idea: the Commanders could use that draft capital to bolster their offensive line, especially with Nico Collins' pending extension, and to address other needs on the roster. Now, this isn't just a speculative move. Stroud, in his short but impressive career, has shown he's the real deal. His 2023 season has been a revelation, boosting the Texans' passing game with over 200 yards per game. He's completing 67.2% of his passes with a PFF grade of 88.5, which is elite for a rookie. His deep ball accuracy is particularly notable, with a 45% completion rate on deep throws, illustrating that he's got the arm talent and decision-making that NFL teams crave. His stats over 3 years, including 700 completions for over 500 yards, 55 touchdowns, and just 15 interceptions, paint the picture of a young quarterback with the potential to be a franchise cornerstone. And let's be honest, the Texans are likely considering this move because they're in a position where they need to rebuild their defense and overall roster. Their defense, which was supposed to be a strength, has been inconsistent, allowing nearly 3-1 sacks per game and struggling against the pass. They're also in a cap crunch, with Nico Collins' extension pending and other key pieces like their defensive backs needing upgrades, so parting with Stroud might be a strategic move to rebuild more thoroughly. But here's where things get really interesting for the Commanders. If they manage to land Stroud, the impact could be immediate and profound. The young quarterback has shown he can elevate a team's passing game dramatically. His 2024 season has already seen him improve further, his PFF grade sitting at 87.5, with a yards per game average of around 245 yards, despite an ankle injury that limited him for a game early in the season. When healthy, he's been a surgeon in the pocket, slicing defenses apart with precise throws, especially on deep routes. Imagine what he could do with a healthy Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, and a revitalized defense under new coordinator play calling. For the Commanders, acquiring Stroud wouldn't just be about plugging a hole. It's about elevating their entire offense. His ability to stretch the field, with a deep ball completion percentage of around 45%, combined with his high accuracy and decision-making, could push Washington into a different stratosphere offensively. The numbers speak volumes. With Stroud, the Commanders could see an increase of approximately 3-0 passing yards over what they've produced this season, along with around 20 more touchdowns. His presence on the field would unlock mismatches against defenses, particularly against teams like the Eagles and Cowboys, who rely heavily on pass rush and coverage schemes. Speaking of the NFC East, this move could shake things up significantly. The Commanders, currently sitting at 3-8, are desperately seeking a reliable quarterback after the injury to Sam Howell's backup, Taylor Heinicke, and the inconsistent play of Howell himself. Howell has shown flashes of potential, but lacks the consistency that a young quarterback like Stroud could bring. The potential upgrade in accuracy, decision-making, and leadership from Stroud could be the boost Washington needs to make a serious playoff push next year. And let's not forget the strategic benefits. Stroud's presence would also take some pressure off the defense, which has struggled at times, especially against the run and against talented receivers. His ability to extend plays and find open targets downfield would help the Commanders sustain drives and keep defenses honest. Plus, his leadership qualities, shown through his poise and maturity, would be a huge boost in the locker room and on the sideline. Now, considering the other side of the coin, some analysts remain skeptical. Houston, after all, is likely to want to maximize their return on a franchise quarterback, especially one who's shown high-level potential so early in his career. There's a risk involved for the Texans. They would be trading away a player who's already demonstrated he can produce at a high level, albeit in a struggling team. But if the Texans believe they can rebuild faster with more draft capital and a focus on defense, this trade could make sense. They've been rebuilding their secondary and pass rush. Improving their defense to complement a young quarterback could be the blueprint for their future. For Washington, the key would be convincing Houston that Stroud is worth the investment. The Commanders would need to include a package that appeals to the Texans, perhaps a combination of first-round picks and future assets, along with promising young players or additional draft capital. The goal would be to secure a franchise quarterback who can lead the team deep into the playoffs, maybe even contend for a Super Bowl within the next few years. This potential move also comes with a lot of strategic considerations. For one, the Commanders would have to evaluate how Stroud fits into their long-term plans. His skill set aligns well with the modern NFL. He's a pocket passer with mobility and a quick release, capable of making all the throws. His ability to throw under pressure and his high football IQ make him a perfect candidate for a team looking to rebuild around a young, talented quarterback. Plus, his youth and potential for growth make him an attractive investment, especially considering the instability the franchise has faced at the position over the past few seasons. Let's also consider the current season. The Commanders are 3-8, and while they've shown flashes of competitiveness, consistency has been elusive. The injury to Howell and the overall lack of a true franchise QB has hampered their ability to compete in close games. With Stroud, the team could see an immediate upgrade in offensive efficiency. His ability to throw accurately in tight windows and extend plays would make a noticeable difference. His deep ball, which has been a strong point this season, would complement the skill sets of Dotson and Curtis Samuel, giving the offense a dynamic new dimension. Furthermore, the impact on the NFC playoff picture could be significant. If the Commanders acquire Stroud, they'd improve their chances of making a late-season surge, possibly sneaking into the postseason and making some noise. His clutch performance metrics, including EPA per reception in critical moments, suggest he's a quarterback who can elevate his game when it matters most. This could be the missing piece that propels Washington into the playoffs and sets them up for a strong run in the upcoming seasons. Of course, all this hinges on whether the Texans are willing to part with Stroud and whether Washington can pull off a trade of such magnitude. But the idea of a young, accurate, and highly talented quarterback changing the narrative for the Commanders is incredibly exciting. It's a vision for a brighter future, one where Washington can finally stabilize their quarterback position with a player who has all the makings of a franchise cornerstone. And let's not forget, in the NFL, things can change in an instant. A trade like this could send shockwaves through the league and energize the fan base. Fans are already dreaming of seeing Stroud in burgundy and gold, leading the team to new heights. If the stars align and this move happens, it could be remembered as a turning point, possibly the start of a new era of success and sustained greatness for the Commanders. Now I want to hear from you, Washington fans. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think Stroud is the right guy to lead the team into a new era? Would you be willing to part with future picks or promising young players to get him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion truly matters. I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and news about the Commanders, so stay tuned. This season may be winding down, but the future is bright. And with moves like this, Washington could be on the verge of something special.